Hey, what's going on, cleaning business owners? I haven't made a video in here in a while. It's been quite some time. So I wanted to come on here and show you guys something that I think is holding a lot of you guys back from reaching your goals. So definitely pay close attention to this, take notes. It's something very, very simple, but this is something I've seen so many times with cleaning owners, and it's really just holding a lot of you guys back. And it's just a very simple mindset shift that I think a lot of you guys can make that would really help you within the next 3 to 6 months, as well as beyond, to make sure you're reaching your goals. To quickly introduce myself for those of you that don't know me already, my name is Alex. I am the co-founder of Scale My Cleaning Business, where we coach and we teach you how to get your own quotes, opportunities on autopilot, as well as fill in the gaps in other places in your business. If you'd like to hear more, I'll actually post down a link. You can speak to our advisor, Carrie, who has $1 million plus cleaning business. She has it completely automated. She knows the industry inside and out. What you'll do on that call is she'll actually go through a strategy within the next 6 months to help you reach your goals, as well as see if you're a good fit for any of our programs. But that being said, let's get into it. So what I want you guys to picture your business as is a series of skills that you need to learn and master. So right now, let's pretend you're on this journey, and I'm gonna draw a little stick figure here. Make him like normal sized. This is you. Oh, didn't mean to do that. You. And then you're trying to go from here to here. And whatever here is, this is your goal. So like, let's say this is, could be a couple of things. So I'll write some examples. So whatever your vision is, so you want to help 100 businesses in your area. You want to provide for your family. Work, maybe you only want to work, let's say 5 to 10 hours a week. Maybe you have a certain revenue goal. Maybe you want to hit, let's say 500,000 to $1 million plus per year in your cleaning business. So first of all, really important, get clear on your vision. Always dig into why you want to have those goals. That type of money is great, but really try to figure out what that actually does for you. How much money is that actually going to take you to live the life that you want, as well as impact others on the level that you want, whether that's your employees, whether that's your clients, whether that's your family or your friends. Just get very clear on that and try to be as specific as possible. But the whole idea is that right now you're here, maybe you're just starting out, maybe you have a couple contracts, you're looking to grow. But you really do want to get over to this other side. This grass is always greener type thing. There's this other side where you want to reach at some point, and that is going to take time. It's going to take a certain level of patience and consistency. But what I see a lot of cleaning owners do is a lot of them give up early on a lot of things, and there's a thing that I see where a lot of you guys. I'm not pointing to anyone in particular, but just what I've seen overall is that whenever a challenge is faced, that instead of leaning in, you kind of draw back a little bit. So whenever there's a moment of being uncomfortable or there's huge problems in the business, instead of addressing it, you kind of just are either afraid to grow, afraid to pretty much just face whatever problem it is head on, which really doesn't do anything for you. It actually holds you back. So I'm going to show you some examples of this. So the first thing that all of you guys usually just are fine with is pretty much just getting all your stuff in order. So your LLC, license and insurance. Maybe you have like a business plan or something like that. Which usually this is not a problem, but this is kind of the first obstacle to starting your cleaning business. The second obstacle is getting contracts. And this is one of the biggest things that we actually help with. But it's really important to just first understand, you know, what kind of contracts are you looking for? What's in your area, and how do you start to get these opportunities? Because you're not going to get contracts. The first problem that you need to solve is not getting contracts. The first problem that you need to solve is how do I get in front of the right people consistently? Because what that's going to lead to is more conversations. And then more conversations is going to lead into more quotes, opportunities. And then that's going to lead into more walkthroughs. And then what this leads into is contracts. And these contracts can be anywhere between, I don't know, could be anywhere between $500 and $50,000 per month. I've seen even more, but just depends. But in order to get this, there's certain skills that are actually required. So let's actually go over that. So these skills are necessary for you to reach to the next level. So either you're going to spend the time to learn these skills. I don't know why this is here. You're going to spend the time to actually learn these skills, or what you'll do is you'll actually invest in someone who already understands these parts of the business. One of the things that I've done in business, you know, the different things that I've started and grown over the years is not only setting aside the time for me to learn it on my own, but also finding and delegating people that are even better than I am. You don't have to be an expert at everything because that takes a lot of time. But what you can do is find people that are really good at it. But it is important for you to understand things, at least on a fundamental level, before you hand it off to anyone. So the skills that are required to get to a point where you're consistently getting contracts is how do you get more conversations and quotes and opportunities. So you need to learn how to market. And I'm actually going to add something to this with the right people. So you need to figure out marketing, like how do you create marketing and systems to consistently get more conversations with the right people. And then you also need to figure out how to make that consistent. So how are you actually going to consistently produce those conversations and manage that? So we have a lot of content on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of things on this Facebook group. And it's really important that you start to understand how to market yourself. And the other key part of this is how do you get in front of the right people? What I see a lot of the time is a lot of you are not, maybe you're doing some marketing, maybe you're making some posts and things like that, but I see a lot of these posts being done in these Facebook groups that are full of other cleaners. So why would you think that another cleaner would want to use your services? It doesn't really make too much sense when you think about it. But what you do want to do is get in front of where the property managers are, where the business owners are. And the way you do that is you get on platforms that they actually check. You know, the three ones that we like are phone and text. We like LinkedIn, we like email. You can also, you know, message them on like Facebook, or maybe you're part of some type of networking group, or maybe just on Google, you improve your presence for people looking you up. But really just try to think about, you know, where can I learn the skill of marketing? Where can I really create some good systems to get in front of the right people? And how do I get in front of the right people on the right platforms? And then once you get up to a point where let's say you're getting 5 responses every single week asking for a quote, the next skill that you need to learn is sales. And again, this is something a lot of people shy away from. They say, you know, maybe I don't have sales experience, this is very uncomfortable for me to get on the phone. One of the biggest things that we actually teach in our coaching program is to get uncomfortable. Start making some cold calls. Start doing things that are actually going to put you outside of your comfort zone so you can overcome this. And start looking at this as an opportunity rather than something that's holding you back. Because the thing that's actually holding you back is by not leaning in and learning sales. Because it doesn't matter how many conversations you guys get. If you guys can't convert these quotes walkthroughs into quotes. Actually, this should be over here. I meant to put this here. Walkthroughs and then quote opportunities. It should be over here. If you guys don't have the sales skills to call them and book the walkthrough and talk to them on a personal level and give out a quote and follow up, you're never going to close any deals. That's point blank, period. So very, very important that you learn sales. And part of sales is talking to them, being yourself, offering benefits. Like sales is all about helping. So it's offering benefits, solving pain points, and then also following up and handling objections. So a lot of people get this objection where it's like, the price, they're undercutting the price. But if you set up your sales correctly and you brand yourself correctly and you build that relationship, a lot of these price objections you're not going to actually face. So for example, if you are very personable with with the property manager, that you're giving a quote out to, and you understand his business, you understand his problems, that's all leverage for you to charge a premium. And never as a business, you should never charge less than what you're worth. If someone is really just giving you a hard time and not valuing what you're providing, then you need to walk away. One of the biggest things that I see with especially a lot of beginning cleaning owners is that it's almost this point that they're out of desperation as opposed to abundance, because you need the money, you need the contract. But unfortunately, when that happens, you actually have a much lesser chance of actually landing the contract than if you had this place of abundance. And whether that's trying to follow up every couple hours, or on a quote, or you're trying to negotiate the price. You can negotiate the price, but to a certain extent, right? Like you don't want to start off on the bad foot, because imagine this. Imagine that you charge maybe a quarter of what you're worth, and you start working with the client and you're barely making any money. Do you really think that's going to be a good client that's going to value your work? And do you really think that that's going to be a client that, is just going to leave you alone and not hassle you or complain? No, of course they're going to complain. That is just the start of a bad relationship. So always understand your value, even in the beginning, which is one of the hardest things that I see a lot of you guys doing. But yeah, once you guys figure out a way to get consistent quotes out and also close, I would say between 20 and 30%, you're going to get consistent contracts each and every month. And then the only thing the only thing that's keeping you from closing more contracts is improving and getting more conversations, getting more quote opportunities, and also just improving your sales skills. Maybe it's your follow-up, just trying to fill out those gaps. But whenever you see a gap, you need to first address it and not run away from it, and realize this is an actual opportunity for you to improve. Now the next section that I want to quickly address is hiring. And this is another thing that I've seen a lot of people just back away from. And really this is like getting contracts and marketing is, I would say, 50% of it. The other 50% I would say is hiring. So whenever you face a problem in hiring, the only thing you should be focused on in your business is how do you fix that problem. So, and then when you're trying to address it, you want to be as specific as possible. Is it the fact that maybe you're not getting enough applicants? Is it maybe you are not screening them on a phone screen enough times? Are you not training them well enough? Are they not showing up to the interviews? Are they not showing up to the work? Get specific as you can to whatever it is you're dealing with, and you need to solve it. Write things on paper, solve it. And one of the things I see a lot of people not doing is just reaching out. We have our Facebook group. We have people that are just insanely good at training and hiring, but it's very rare for me to see people actually reaching out. and asking for help. And for those of you that do, bravo, congrats, keep doing that, because that's what's going to help you move towards your goals. I can't even tell you, in my own businesses, how many times I've reached out to people that were levels beyond where I was at, or maybe even they were at the same level, but they were just really good at solving whatever problem that I was facing. So there's not really a such thing as competition. You can literally just reach out to other cleaning owners in your area, or obviously we're on the internet right now. You can just message people, ask questions in groups, see what you can solve. We also have a lot of training. Carrie, our advisor, she's insanely good at hiring and training. She has a whole program for it. We also have a lot of resources on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook group. So reach out, figure out whatever the problem is, and solve it. And all these things, it's not an overnight thing, but as long as you're just tracking the progress of it and you're solving that problem, you're going to be getting closer and closer to this goal as you solve that problem. So this could be hiring, training. I'll just kind of write some examples. No shows, not qualified. Right now, there's obviously a lot of problems. Maybe they have to get vaxxed in certain places like New York. Maybe they need certain certifications. Maybe they're just unmotivated. How do you motivate someone who's unmotivated? But again, these are skills that you need to succeed. You need to become a good leader, and you need to be able to create a culture that's going to make people loyal to you. Because if you're just playing the price game and you're just going out there and just trying to offer the best pay, which is good, right? But if you're not able to offer the best pay, then you're not going to have the most loyal people. And even if you do have a really good pay, if another company comes in, whether it's a cleaning company or whatever it is, and they offer a better pay, that employee is gonna jump ship. They're gonna leave, because cleaning is a hard job. It's not an easy task. What I see a lot of people is maybe they don't set the right expectations of what is required on the job, throughout that interview and training process, and being able to just support them and help them, so that they're not on their own, because that's something that really just motivates or unmotivates or demotivates, I should say, a lot of people. But yeah, hiring, super important. To be able to hire and train, those are two skills that you need to be able to reach your goals. There's absolutely no way around it. And if you have enough funds, you can hire a hiring manager or go through an agency. But I highly recommend understanding these principles and understanding these skills on a fundamental level before you actually delegate it to someone else. The other thing with hiring that I think people don't realize is this is actually your people are actually your biggest asset. So it's not your equipment, it's not anything else. The people that you hire and the quality of the people that you hire is insanely important. So if you don't do this right, you're gonna set yourself up for failure, basically. So with hiring, it's important that you just vet who you're working with, as well as have a good system of getting consistent applications through the door. Even if you're maxed out and you're good, you're not getting any more contracts, it's still important to always be hiring. Because if, let's say one day I've heard this so many times before, let's say one day that 5 people leave, you need to have a system in place so that you have people to pull from. You need a pool of qualified people that understand, maybe you're not hiring right now, but in 2 weeks, it's possible that you'll be hiring. You need that pool of people. The other thing with hiring, the last thing I'm going to say about this is if you don't have hires in place, you're basically losing money. I've talked to a couple of commercial cleaning owners that basically, because of their hiring problem, they were getting tons, even with working with us, they were getting a ton of contract opportunities. I'm talking, 5, 10,000, 20,000, or even more $1,000 of opportunities, but they weren't able to accept it because they didn't have the actual hires in place. So they were just stuck. And, a lot of it was just hard. It was just, part of COVID, and, there was a lot of things going on. But, unless you solve this problem, nothing's going to happen, and there's going to be opportunities that you're going to have to say no to, it's really painful for me to see that. But, from the beginning, you want to have a good system of getting contracts, and you want to have a good system of getting hires. Everything else like taxes, accounting, getting equipment, cash flow, bidding and quoting, I look at those things as maybe kind of extras, maybe 5 to 10% of it. But getting contracts and getting hires is, I would say, 80% of the business. But yeah, when you guys face a problem like this, don't be discouraged. Don't quit. I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of business is hard. Let's be honest here. Like, I'm just making this video, just being as honest as possible. But you need to solve these problems, because otherwise you're not going to reach your goals. So hopefully this video is helpful, because I want you guys to know that you're not in this alone. We're doing strategy calls if you're interested, and we also have a lot of resources for free that you can take advantage of. And if you have any other questions, reach out to me, post in the group, and I will see you guys all later. Thanks.